Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. Our both bees by the sea, and of course the Maverick Beekeeper. So what I'm going to show you today is my latest acquisition, which is two Abelo mini nukes, mating nukes. I'm not getting paid to promote this, but I kind of wanted to cover it because I'm using Abelo hives at the moment, and I think the build quality's second to none. And they're really good as far as thermal properties, keeping water out, etc. So this version, okay, these mini mating nukes are the same construction, and they're made in the same sort of way. So we're going to go through that now. So I'm going to give you a comparison with the mini mating nukes that you see at the top of the picture, which I've been using. Now I found these to be a bit of a faff. They're fiddly. They do work, of course, and I will have them in reserve. So I've bought them because the money I made from the honey this year, I'm ploughing back into the concern and trying to get things up and running. The aim of these mating nukes is next season, hopefully, I'm going to produce queens and try and get some revenue going so that I can sell them to plough money back into what we're doing. So that's the plan. So I'll show you each component of the hive as we go along. Again, like I said, I'm not being paid for this, so I just want you to be aware of them. Yes, they can be quite pricey. They're between 70 and 80 quid, but that also includes all the bits and pieces in it, including frames with foundation, which is what I went for, because I didn't really want to go and start faffing around too much. Anyway, without further ado, let's just explain what these mating nukes are all about and their construction. So enjoy the video and we'll see what they're all about. Okay guys, so we're going to get on with it. So starting off over here, we have a mini mating nuke which I picked up originally. As you can see, it's very small, but it has what you need inside. Has frames, whoops. It also has a top cover, and it is a bit of a faff because they're too small, but as I said, I'll get them in reserve, and it'll work for us if I need extra mating nukes. So there you go. That's the mini ones that I bought. So they were quite cheap, but they work. So starting off then, we'll start off with the lid itself on the Abelo hive. As you can see, nice and solid, well built, and it's constructed well. So it's already pre-painted. You can get them different colours, green, white, and of course blue. Solid, so good thermal properties, so it's going to be robust, especially with me. I'm a bit heavy-handed. So that's the lid, and as you can see, it's recessed, and because it's recessed, it sits quite nicely on top of the first component which we have, which is the feeder. So it's almost like an ashforth feeder. So the stuff that came with it, we had a couple of vents, as you can see here. Okay, so we got vents should you need them, and of course for the bottom board we have plugs, because you can see them here. We have vents each side. Now you can see they're subdivided into two parts so that we can have two separate sides as far as queen rearing is concerned. So each component, and we also have a landing board which fits quite nicely underneath. Again, I'll show you the completed hive in a minute, but you get this, you get the bottom covers, you get vents, and of course the feeder itself. As you can see, it's divided up into two parts here, and that cover sits over the top quite nicely. There you go. And again, as before, it's got castellations around the sides so that the lid fits quite nicely on top, as you can see. And when you're moving these, it's a lot easier. As you can see, it fits in there quite nicely. So that's the lid and the feeder itself. Getting on to the main part. Well, of course, we have a divider which divides the hive into two parts. And within those, again, this is the main box, and this is the frames that came with the main box itself. So it's already got pre-comb in it. So that's a good thing. Again, it saves a lot of messing around. There's more room and they're easier to handle. So the way that works is it's got three frames each side, and of course then the divider goes in between. Okay, so that's the divider. So we've got frames, 3 each side and 1 divider. Now onto the base. And of course the base, as I said, it's got vents, and the frames sit on top like so, and therefore we've got 2 officially separate colonies. So again, we'll get these filled up as soon as the weather starts to get better, normally about 24 hours before I graft. So there's that bit. So it sits on there, and of course then the lid fits on top of the hive itself, and you can see we've got a nice compact, well made mini mating nute. So what it looks like when it's constructed, you can look either side. You've got landing boards, as you see, and again subdivided into 2 parts as far as the colonies are concerned. So that's good. Also, what I can do is, obviously at the end of the season, we can then make these like mini hives, if you like, to overwinter. So that's a plus as far as these. So they're quite versatile, well made, a little bit expensive, but I'm hoping to get a lot of service life out of these. Unlike the mini make nuke, as I said, you can see in comparison the size, yeah, a lot of faffing with those. Well, that's just a brief outline of the Abelo mini mating nukes. So as I said, next year, or if this year, if the weather holds, I'm going to start rearing more queens to cover any eventualities of queenlessness near the end of the season, which, as you know, is a bit of a nightmare. Okay, so that's it. Hope you've enjoyed it. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description below to where you can get these. Obviously Abelo, and I'll put it in the description. So I hope you've enjoyed that. It's just a quick heads up, and we'll see how we get on with them. So as soon as I populate them and we start to queen rear again, if that's possible, I'll throw another video up and tell you how I get on with them. But generally I'm pretty happy with the build quality. Okay, so that's the 2 hives. Good stuff. Okay, like, subscribe, comment as before, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it's been fairly informative, and I'll let you know how I get on with them. Okay, see you all soon, and hope you come back to us soon. Cheerio for now.